Let's start another lecture of ATX. I strongly believe that you people must have tried this. Let's see what answer did you get. Let's try first this question, then I'm going to introduce new concepts. Non-saving income, saving income, dividend income, and then I'll be having a total. Okay. Employment income is a non-saving income which is 25,000. Saving income is obviously saving income which is 10,000. And dividend income is also 10,000. So the total amount is 45,000. Okay. Personal allowance 12570. 12570. Okay. Here comes the taxable amount. 25,000 minus 12570, it gives us 12,430. 10, 10. It is 32,430. Okay. First, obviously, we have to tax non-saving income. Yes. Income tax, basic rate band, non-saving 12430 into 20%. 2486. 12430 into 20%, that is 2486. Now, since after deducting personal allowance from the total of non-saving income, the resultant is more than 5,000, so starting rate band concept now does not apply. Okay. So now let's talk about saving income. Now we need to check for the nil rate band. Look at this amount. The total taxable income is 32,430, which means this individual is a basic rate taxpayer, and whoever is a basic rate taxpayer, that individual gets nil rate band of 1,000 for saving income. Nil rate band, saving income 1,000 into 0% is 0. Basic rate band, saving income 9,000. Why? Because we have saving income of 10,000. Out of that, 1,000 falls in nil rate band, so we are left with only 9,000 into 20%, 1,800. When it comes to dividend income, every individual gets 2,000 nil rate band irrespective of tax paying status. So nil rate band of dividend income, 2,000 into 0% is obviously 0. So we have total dividend income of 10,000. Out of that, 2 falls in nil rate band and the remaining comes in basic rate band. So 8,000 into 7.5%. 8,000 into 7.5%, it is 600. $600 plus 1,800 plus 2,486. 4,886. Income tax liability. So income tax liability is 4,886. That's great. I strongly believe that you people are also having the same answer. Okay, now let's talk about some new concept. What is that new concept? Now listen and listen carefully. The normal sequence of allocating personal allowance is, let's say I have a non-saving income, saving income, and then dividend income. Okay. The normal sequence, obviously we have a total over here. The normal sequence of allocating personal allowance is, first you have to allocate personal allowance against non-saving income. Let's say still you have personal allowance, then you will go for saving income, and then finally you will go for dividend income. Repeat. The normal sequence of allocating personal allowance is, first we will deduct personal allowance from the non-saving income, and still let's say personal allowance is left, which is only possible when non-saving income is far more less than the amount of personal allowance. Then unused personal allowance will be deducted from saving income, and finally still if we have unused personal allowance, it will be deducted from dividend income. But according to the HMRC, if an individual wants, that individual can change the allocation of personal allowance, but provided that change in the allocation of personal allowance must result in tax saving. Repeat. An individual can change the allocation of personal allowance, but according to HMRC, allocation is only allowable when change in the allocation of personal allowance results in tax saving. So now the scenario is, if I change the allocation, so what will be the new order, and when we are going to follow that order? There are two questions. Number one, if we change the order of allocating personal allowance, so what is going to be the order? And another question is, what will be the sequence? Okay, I'll show you. Number one is remain same, non-saving income, then we'll go to dividend income, and finally is saving income. So now the question is, the change, when does this change in personal allowance allocation apply? When this change of personal allowance should be followed? I'll tell you the scenario. Look at the question. Let's say we have employment income of 10,000. We have saving income of 5,000. We have dividend income of, let's say, 12,000. Okay. The requirement is very simple. We just need to calculate income tax liability. Let's see what happens. Let's make three columns: non-saving, saving, dividend income, and then total. Okay. Obviously, employment income is a non-saving income. Saving income is saving income, which is simply interest income. And we have dividend 12,000. Okay. So the total is 27,000. Personal allowance, obviously, first we need to deduct the personal allowance from the non-saving income. Okay. Now listen carefully. We have deducted 10,000 from the non-saving income because the total income which is in non-saving is 10,000. Still, 2512,570 minus 10,000. Still, I have an unused personal allowance of 2570. Now listen and listen carefully. Since the total of non-saving is, after deducting personal allowance, it is 0, which means that saving income starting rate band comes into the action. Another point, entire 5,000 basically falls in a starting rate band because non-saving income is not using even a 1 pound of the starting rate band. Why? Because we do not have any taxable income in non-saving. So since entire 5,000 of saving income falls in a starting rate band where the tax rate is 0%, in that case, you should not be deducting the remaining personal allowance from the saving income. Now you should be deducting the remaining personal allowance from the dividend income. Why? Because if right now we deduct 2570 from the saving income, so we will not be saving any tax. Why we are not going to save any tax? Because you are already paying no tax on saving income. The entire 5,000 of the saving income actually falls in starting rate band where the tax rate is 0%. So simply, when you come across a situation where you are having taxable income of non-saving 0 after deducting the personal allowance, and the entire amount of the saving income falls in a starting rate band, in that case, you must deduct the unused personal allowance from the dividend income. Now instead of saving, I'll go for dividend 2570. So 12570. So we are having taxable income 5,000. 12 minus 2570 gives me 9430. 14430. Since, let me tell you one thing, not income tax. Since the taxable income in non-saving is 0, which means entire 5,000 starting rate band is available. So starting rate band, saving income, entire 5,000 falls in a starting rate band into 0%, it is 0. Now I just need to tax dividend income of 9,430. And in case of dividend income, we all know that every individual gets nil rate band of 2,000. So nil rate band dividend income 2,000 into 0% is obviously 0. Basic rate band dividend income. From 9430, if I deduct 2,000, so I'll get 7430 into 7.5%. 7430. 557. This is your income tax liability. Your income tax liability is 557. Okay. So you just need to remember one point. Whenever you come across a situation where non-saving income is having a 0 taxable income and entire saving income amount falls in a starting rate band, in that case, you must change the sequence of allocating personal allowance. Just for your understanding, if I solve this question with the normal sequence of allocating the personal allowance, then you can see we will be having more income tax liability than this amount, which is 557. But you are not supposed to do this in the exam. Just for the sake of proof, let me tell you one thing. Non-saving, saving, dividend income, total. Non-saving is 10,000, saving income is 5, dividend income is 10,000. For example, I'm following the normal sequence of allocating the personal allowance, which is non-saving. Then if I deduct 2570 from here, 5,000 minus 2570, it is 2430. Okay, 12430. This is 25,000. 12570. Okay. Obviously, non-saving is having 0 taxable income, so starting rate band is available. But now we have saving income only 2430. So let's see what happens. Income tax. Starting rate band, saving income, 2430 into 0, obviously it is 0. Now I need to tax dividend income, which is now 10,000. Nil rate band, dividend income 2,000. Obviously it is 0. Basic rate band, dividend income 8,000 into 7.5%. So it comes 8,000 into 600. So income tax liability is going to be 600. If you follow the normal sequence of allocating personal allowance, then income tax liability is 600. Look at this. When I change the allocation of personal allowance, my income tax liability was 557. If I follow the normal sequence of allocating the personal allowance, then I am having an income tax liability 600. So now it can be clearly seen that normal allocation of impairment loss in this case results in a higher tax liability, which is not good. So you just need to remember one point. When do we need to change this allocation of personal allowance? Whenever you come across a situation where after deducting the personal allowance, non-saving income is 0. Second, entire saving income actually falls in starting rate band. Then you should change the sequence of allocating impairment. You should change the sequence of allocating personal allowance. So let me give you one more question, and I want you to try this question. Employment income having 7,500, saving income having, let's say, 4,500. I'm having dividend income of 12,500. And I want you to calculate income tax liability. Calculate income tax liability. And now I strongly believe you know the rule. The rule is pause, solve, and then unpause the video. So you have to make 3 columns: non-saving, saving, dividend income, and total. Non-saving 7,500, saving income 4,500, dividend income 12,500. 7,500, 4,500 plus this, we're getting 24,500. Personal allowance. Okay. It can be now clearly seen that non-saving income is, after deducting a personal allowance, is taxable income. In case of non-saving is 0, and 4,500 entire amount actually falls in starting rate band. So I am changing the sequence. Now remaining personal allowance I am not deducting from saving income. The remaining personal allowance I should be deducting from dividend income. So 12570 minus 7,500. The remaining unused personal allowance is 5070. 12,500 minus 5070. It is 7430 plus this. Let us calculate income tax. Starting rate band, saving income. It is 4,500 into 0% is obviously 0. For dividend income, we know that every individual gets nil rate band of 2,000. So nil rate band dividend income. 2,000 to 0% is 0. So from 7430, if I deduct 2,000, then we have basic rate band. So from 7430, I deduct 2,000, I'll be getting 5430 into 7.5%. 407. This is 0.25 as well. I'm ignoring that 0.25. So income tax liability is 4075. So income tax liability is 4075. So now I strongly believe now you know the concept very well. When do we need to change sequence of allocating the personal allowance? Whenever you come across a situation where after deducting the personal allowance, non-saving taxable income is 0 and entire saving income actually falls in a starting rate band, in that case we change the sequence of allocating personal allowance. The result will be obviously you will be having a lower income tax liability. Now let's introduce a new concept. The name of the new concept is marriage allowance. Obviously, in order to get the marriage allowance, marriage is must, that's for sure. Now the question is, what do you mean by marriage allowance? Let me tell you. Actually, due to claiming the marriage allowance, one, marriage allowance you have to claim, okay? Husband and wife both, they have to claim the marriage allowance. Due to claiming the marriage allowance, couple is going to save the tax, okay? But in order to get the marriage allowance, husband and wife both must be basic rate taxpayer. Repeat. Husband and wife both must be basic rate taxpayers. That's number one condition. Let me repeat. Obviously, in order to get the marriage allowance, marriages must, number one. Number two, husband and wife both must be basic rate taxpayer. Second, when it comes to marriage allowance is actually 1260. One partner can transfer 1260 of its personal allowance to another partner. Repeat. Marriage allowance means one spouse can transfer its personal allowance 1260 to another partner. Okay. The transfer partner, the one who is transferring, the transferor must transfer the personal allowance 1260. You cannot transfer more than 1260. You cannot even transfer less than 1260. Repeat. One spouse, let's say, who is having taxable income lower than the personal allowance, that partner should transfer actually 10% of the personal allowance. If I take 10% of the personal allowance, so it will come, if I take 10% of this, so it comes actually 1257. But instead of 1257, the Finance Act 2021 says you should take marriage allowance 1260. So one spouse can transfer 1260 of his or her personal allowance to another spouse. Okay. Let me repeat. Both husband and wife must be basic rate taxpayer. Second, you cannot transfer more than 1260. You cannot transfer less than 1260. Now the question is how it works. How do we save tax? By claiming marriage allowance. Let me show this through a question. How do we save the tax? Let's say the husband is X and the wife is, okay, put it like this. We have a husband, we have wife. Let's say husband is having employment income of 30,000. Wife is having, let's say, employment income of 9,000. So one thing, it can be clearly seen that husband and wife both are basic rate taxpayer, and wife is in a position that wife cannot utilize her entire personal allowance. So obviously we will give advice to this couple that you people in fact should claim marriage allowance. Let's say they are saying, okay, we agree for the marriage allowance. Now how marriage allowance works, let me tell you. First you have to deduct the normal personal allowance 12570. From here I'll be deducting 9,000. Let me use a calculator. 30,000 minus 12570. Husband is having taxable income of 17,430. Okay. Taxable income. Let me calculate income tax. 17430 into 20%. It is 3,486. Now listen. Since the couple has claimed marriage allowance, which is 1260. Now what happens due to marriage allowance? Look at this. I'll be writing marriage allowance reduction. How to calculate marriage allowance reduction? First you have to just write 1260. Then you have to take 20% of this. 1260, 20% of this comes to 252. So this 252 will reduce the income tax liability of husband. So 3486 minus 252. So now the income tax liability is 3,234. So let me repeat. In order to get the marriage allowance, number one, the marriage is must. Second, husband and wife both must be basic rate taxpayer. Third, exactly 1260 marriage allowance is available. Not less, not more. And what happens due to marriage allowance? All you need is just calculate the normal income tax liability, and after that, due to marriage allowance, just write marriage allowance reduction. And all you need is just multiply 20% with 1260. You'll be getting 252, and this 252 will reduce income tax liability. Okay. Now what I'm going to do in the next lecture, inshallah, I'll be introducing more concept. But before introducing more concept in the next video, first we'll be doing little bit more practice of this marriage allowance, and then obviously I'll be discussing more concepts and more questions they are about to come. And after one more lecture, I strongly believe then our proper topic will start, that is going to be the property income. But in the next video, I'm going to practice, we'll be practicing more on income tax liability with a little bit more concepts, so that you should be having a really good grip on calculating income tax liability. But don't worry, in the next video, inshallah, we'll be discussing more on this marriage allowance. So thank you very much watching this lecture. Have a nice day. I would say have a nice life, in fact. Thanks for watching this video.